Hello friends and welcome back to the official YouTube channel of TechSarch. Here we'll provide detailed videos regarding legal, accounting, secretarial and other professional updates. मेरा नाम है गगन कालरा और आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं शेयर ट्रांसफर एंड process of share allotment in a company. Understanding the process of share allotment and transfer is a crucial for companies and investors because the companies will transfer their share to take money and the investors will invest their money into those such shares to grow their money. ठीक है, बहुत सारी रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट, बहुत सारे ट्रांसफ़र प्रोसीजर्स, बहुत सारे टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस इसमें इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं. अब हम आगे इस पीडीएफ में, इस वीडियो में बहुत सारे शेयर्स अलॉटमेंट से रिलेटेड ट्रांसफ़र प्रोसीजर्स, रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स एंड टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस इन्वॉल्व रहती हैं. इस वीडियो में हम उन्हीं सब पॉइंट्स के बारे में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. First we need to understand what are the types of share and their characteristics. So shares are basically of two types, equity and preference. But there is a third type as well, which is bonus, which we'll talk about. What is equity share first? Equity shares are those shares which represent the ownership in the company, which has some voting right attached to it and has the right to call for dividend. The second type of shares are preference shares. Preference shares are those shares जिनके ऊपर एक fixed dividend होता है. These are more like debentures, but ये shares की category में आते हैं. तो even if a company is in a loss, the company will pay the dividend to preference shareholders. They have priority in the event of liquidation. They are paid before the equity shareholders. तो इन पे इसी वजह से preference है over equity. That's why their name is preference shares. The next one is bonus share. What are bonus shares? Bonus shares are those shares which are given to existing shareholder without any additional cost, just because they are holding these shares, the equity and the preference. Next is the process of share allotment. See, in the process of share allotment, you have various options to allot shares to the public or to private place. The process of share allotment. You have various options to allot shares to public or to private place and to raise money. The most common of them are IPO, private placement and right issue. We can also include FPO with the IPO as well. So what happens in the IPO or FPO? See, these are public offerings. So if a company is first time issuing shares to the public, or if a company is doing further issuing shares to the public, it is called IPO or FPO. In these scenarios, the company takes the money from the public directly and not from any big investors in the middle, whether it's a banker or a mutual fund. In a private placement, the shares are allotted to selected investors and not everyone can buy these shares, such as institutional investors, high net worth individuals, etc. Now the third thing is right issue. In the right issue, the company shares are issued to existing shareholders and not to any outsiders. These are issued at a discounted price, and these are also additional shares that the company will issue. Now next is regulatory requirement and compliances. Now what are the regulatory requirements? Regulatory requirement and compliances. What are the regulatory requirements or laws that are applicable in share transfer? So the first one is security laws. As we all know, the shares are guided through SCRA Act, which is Securities Contract and Regulation Act. So if that act is not followed, then the shares transfer will be void. So any company or any individual who is transferring their share must follow their act. The second one is corporate governance. See, the shareholders' rights and board responsibility are a very sensitive topic for a company. They need to disclose their requirement, they need to be carefully followed such that the corporate governance can be remained in the company. The last one is tax regulations. Share allotment and transfer may have tax implications that must be properly addressed. What are the tax implications that are applicable in such a scenario? The first one and the very common of them being the capital gain tax. Shares are a type of capital asset. So if we transfer shares, we are transferring capital gains. We are gaining capital gain. So we must pay tax on that. The second one is stamp duty. The shares are stampable assets. The second one is stamp duty. See, while transferring shares, certain shares when we are transferring in a physical form attract stamp duty. So that must be paid during that transaction. Otherwise the transfer will be void. The last one would be dividend taxation. Now, all shares does not carry dividend taxation tax with them. The shares that are ordinary income, the last one would be dividend taxation tax. Not all shares carry different transaction tax with them as they are, but whenever you receive dividend on any share, and if that dividend crosses the threshold that is prescribed under the income tax act, then such shares will be liable for a dividend taxation tax. थैंक यू. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो हमारे चैनल को लाइक करें. थैंक यू. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई हो और आपने इस वीडियो से कुछ भी सीखा हो तो इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और फॉलो करें ताकि आप कोई भी वीडियो मिस ना करें. थैंक यू.